There's something about it.
Still alive, I see. Something tells me that eyesore on the horizon is your doing.
It's a long story. One that I'd...
Right. All hands on deck, then.
Is this everyone? As I'm sure you've all guessed, the crystal which now commands the eastern skies was summoned by Ultima. He called it Origin. Though the significance of that name is as yet unclear.
What does it matter what it's called? Its emergence tore Twinside asunder and wiped my homeland from the map.
Mention of the Dominion spires can be found in the oldest of Valisthian records. But to the best of my knowledge, none provide any hint as to their true nature. That they would prove the horns of some slumbering demon. Well...
The Dominion's demise was at least quick. Elsewhere, the Republican army cannot hope to contain the chaos engulfing Randalar. Canberra is in flames, and the Empire.
Our allies are crying out for answers. I've sent the curse breakers to give them what assurances we can, but right now that amounts to fuck all.
They wouldn't be able to stop what the skies have started in any case. People here and across the realm grow sicker with every passing day.
Could it be that this new Mother Crystal is like the others? That it draws upon the land's ether? It certainly looked that way from stone here.
If that were true, it would explain the hastening spread of the Blight since the crystal's appearance. Would it not?
And as the land's ether slowly rises to the surface, it pools, corrupting all who cannot channel its energies. Archaea above, ether floods below, and in the middle, here we languish, hopelessly entrapped.
It's all right. When we faced him at Stone here, Ultima told us his true power quickens in the halls of Origin. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to continue. If we are to stop him, we will have to find a way into the crystal.
How are we gonna manage that then? It's up in the sky. And fast as she is, the Enterprise can't fly.
It's a lot to take in, and I reckon we'd all benefit from some time to clear our heads. The answer will come to us. Don't you worry. Ain't that right, Clive?
Right. That's right.
Well, go on then. Bugger off. Same goes for you, Clive. You won't solve anything like this. Trust me. Go and get some fresh air, eh?
Thank you. Joshua seemed upset.
What do I owe the honor?
So, will it be? No scratches, all right? Not my best work, but it'll do. Don't waste my time. You ain't got the stuff.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. You'll not find a better price than that. I reckon I can find a buyer. I'll be thankful you got that much. Is that all?
Yep. So, what'd it be? You can thank me later. Not my best work, but it'll do. And how am I meant to do that then? Bring me the materials, and I'll think about it. Trouble with your gear, or... Not saying forwarding, do you? Not my best work, but it'll do. You can thank me later. Yeah, that should do you. Not my best work, but it'll do. Yeah, that should do you. You can thank me later.
Clive. If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. I'll be thankful you got that much. You got out else? I'll be thankful you got that much.
There's something about it.
Still alive, or something to...
Joshua seemed upset. Ultima may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place, where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be. But a chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it. It won't be easy. It may take generations. Centuries of suffering. And that is, if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
You can barely stand, let alone fly. And only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. Are you certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
All right. I yield. But only what you must, yes? I'm still your sworn shield.
That you are.
And what of my wings? Lest you forget, you go to stand against a god. I would not have you succumb to fatigue before the fight begins. Ifrit, your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
It is. But their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Then mine will have to be stronger. That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
You don't have to do this.
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides, I would have words with Ultima. He has much to answer for.
We are in your debt, Dion.
We can speak of debts when this is over.
He speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. And has come to terms with that.
That doesn't mean that we have to.
Time to talk to Jill. I only hope she understands.
Say your farewells, and let us be gone.
Come to wish on a star.
That might not be such... This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. What? There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us.
I could pray to Metia for you. You always are.
I did promise we'd watch them.
I'll be waiting.
It's almost time. But... What is it? Something tells me this is no...
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Ta-ra then.
Thank you, Karen.
You could do this. Go on then. Do us proud.
So what do I owe the honor? Crack the crystal? Not a very good one, but then... You do what you need to do, Clive.
I did it, Sid. I made friends with all...
Say what you will. Aaron has seen
Pining for something, boy. What is it? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day brought...
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid's clapped that there iron on him to keep him...
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor... Doubly hard in being a frost wolf. Torn away. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron got. I reckon what he were looking for.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you. Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, can't you? Glad...
Not nearly as much as you have.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not...
Your kindness is appreciated.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you.
Where to then, Torgal?
What do you think happened to Miss...
Sid, you have...
With what?
No. Well...
It's Miss Middledol. She's been acting strange. Very strange.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there.
In the cloud.
That's what I said.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind. Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did...
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? Oh, don't listen to her.
But who's gonna put Miss Middledol back together?
Why don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that? For us? She's in her dad.
Don't scare him.
Thanks for the warning.
When you return, would you mind teaching the children?
Mid.
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right. If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will.
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. Is this really so important that you...
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to... The Fallen had their chance. But not me. Well, almost.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you in a boat. If a godfather, first I'll need oil. And not just some old... Then I'll need some bone. Or...
If it's beast bones you're after.
No, they'll know where you might find some. You'll...
I should speak with one of the curse breakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
Has Middledol mentioned a new project?
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid.
Of course.
It is an honor to finally... My name is Herman. I wish to be deployed to Ash.
No. I will not send good men and women to risk. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve some. I was raised, or rather, it was not a place. We were tortured, and few ever survived long enough.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many, but they must be remembered. They cannot fade away, faceless and forgotten. The Institute.
You are a good friend, Herman. But the fact remains that Ash is simply too dangerous.
Sid, please. Even
too dangerous for you. I'll go to Bad.
You will?
I won't let you risk your life. You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
Vida Grace.
All right.
May the Mother.
So, there's a new mother.
Do you suppose it's
Passing
magic?
over it. One moment, you think you've freed the realm from her fate.
All this time, my heart has...
Vivian, and I'd be happy to help you find the...
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down...
Please. It's only right that I return the favor.
You are too kind. Alas, I spoke with Hippocrates, but...
If you say so.
Forgive me, but this book... Back again? Harpocrates knows whether what he has to say. Well, Club.
I am.
Naturally. I shall. How may I help you today? One must understand one's place in the world. Thus ends today's lesson.
What a word.
No.
Is that right? Might be time to take us. And if it weren't for Sid, I know you'll do right by us, Clive.
All right, Sid.
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light, but
Most bones are the same. If it's durability you're looking for.
I do. Will any old adamantus do?
Well, with shells, the old, but don't expect to make quick work.
I'll keep that in mind.
Sid, I was
It depends what we're...
a bearer, but recently freed from his bonds is keen. As you know, the work we do is not easy.
I don't mind, but...
Because he wants to... Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of scouting. We're few with the nose for that. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions...
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee the boys'
One can never have two...
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know and that he is to proceed directly to...
No time like the present.
No time like the present.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
Ah, Clive. This is it then, brother. Indeed.
You're wrong.
Of course.
Joshua, what's wrong?
I've received word from Cyril.
His will.
In the crypt, beneath Rosalith, after Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the and in the process of doing so...
I'm surprised anything survived it.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter.
Very well.
All right, Torgal. I'm going to need a little bit more than that. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Why don't we try the rookery? To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
You all right? About... Oi! Let's see. You off then?
Welcome back, Sid.
Well, some... Drink up, you lot. The next round's on Sid. Don't be a stranger, Sid.
Thank you, Uncle.
As for Downey... Clive! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks.
I would have done the same for...
You're far too modest, Clive.
From what little I saw,
I suppose I should. But I was rather hoping the great and... Alas, it seems that we must move quickly.
but where do we start?
True, the challenge, the realm's armies, as you've seen, certain cities have, and yet, the only remedy for... In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin?
The armies, my boy. As I told you, sadly, I doubt, but I do know someone that...
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar, and as luck would have it...
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. Havel has always been a man of... I extolled your many virtues as you don't mind it.
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, and if the Field Marshal wishes to speak...
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmec.
Excellent.
No.
Clive.
Harpocrates. I've been charged with locating...
And you seek a rare one whose name I had not thought to hear from you.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very...
And yet I gather it did naught to Clive, I fear she asks the impossible.
The Executors.
Covetors of a clandestine organization. One such text. A tale which could overturn the established... Or... so rumor has it.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organ?
Why? Secrets. They lurk in the shadow.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp.
By the hand of the exec...
But what drives them?
Fine question. Sadly, all you may just as soon ask me of...
Then my hunt was doomed. What was Vivian expecting?
Not from thin air, no. Rumors of the Executors are but rather less so across... I had a friend. Alas, I have... But... though he did not mention it by name, it is possible, if you were, by some chance, able to say...
Very well. I'll be sure to pay Gun.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. Ah, yeah. Indeed. Then... having never visited... I make no guarantee that you will find... I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. I have quite the find for you today. What subject shall we consider today?
Sid.
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no... And something else. Records from a Waluda prison.
How did she come by such...
Finding bearers always was her... And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign, and even better for her. Bearers with no one to look after them.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated.
Sid, I'd like to believe, and while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreak, I can't let those bearers die.
We'll be needing...
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, and we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable...
Thank you, Sid. Chadwick. Another of my... The thought of him...
He must be very important.
He was.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the... We should head there as quickly as...
As do I.